Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Listen up, he's got radioactive blood. Can you see from a threat? Take a look over his head.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, look at the kid. Alright, we just got back a few,
Hour.
Ago from watching Spiderman Far From Home. So first, I haven't done a movie review in a while, but you know, first I talk about, like, non-spoilers, and then we do spoiler talk. So, first off, I want to say, real quick before I get into it, I think this is a movie that you can wait to see. It's not a movie that you need to, like, go and see in theaters. It's definitely one that can be worth the wait. It's, you know, just, like, watch it, like, you know, pay, like, $3.99 and just rent it and watch it, because to go, like, it's okay, but it's not the kind of movie to just go out and see in the theaters. I don't know. It's an okay movie, but I guess if you really like Spider-Man Homecoming, then I would recommend that, yeah, I probably should go to theaters and see it. But if you're, like, meh about the first one, this one can definitely wait. And, yeah, that's all I want to say. So, Spider-Man Far From Home. Well, we know from the trailer that it is Mysterio, which it's hard to talk about this movie without spoiling anything.
Everyone probably already watched it by now.
This is for people that maybe have not watched it and are debating whether they go watch it too. Well, I guess you could say it's a movie that if you've seen the trailer and you're like, oh my god, it looks amazing, don't have high expectations for it, because it's great. It has a lot of things going on. Mainly the trailer shows, you know, Mysterio, and you see Spider-Man going to help, and I would say you should watch it. If you watched the first one, at least give this one a watch. But as I said, you shouldn't rush to watch this one. As I said, this one can wait. You know, what do you think? I think I've already said what I need to be said. There's not much you could say because the trailers for this don't really give much, you know, away, which is great. But it shows a lot of action in the trailer, and I just want to say, if you're expecting lots of fights, lots of action, I want to go into it with that. It's more of, I guess, it's more about Peter than anything else, and the more action stuff is until, like, way later in the film. So, yeah, as I said, it's not the greatest Spider-Man movie. If you want to see an amazing fucking Spider-Man movie, go watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I honestly think it is the best Spider-Man movie to ever come out so far. So, it's the one closest to the comics, and it's really well done, and it's like watching a comic, and you can't go wrong with it. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I guess Thomas would give his, but there's not much to say. I think he would agree you can wait to watch this one than rushing out to the theater to watch it. Right?
Sure.
Yeah, he does. Anyway, so I'm going to move on to spoiler talk. So, for those of you that are clicking off because you decide that you want to wait to see it, thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, like, and yeah. Hopefully you'll go watch it, come back, and see if you agree with my opinions on the spoiler talks. Okay, so yeah, that does it for spoilers. So now the non-spoilers. Let's get into spoilers.
I will crush you once and for all.
Alright, spoiler talk for Spider-Man Far From Home. Let's get into the real meat and review. Alright. I'm trying to remember. This movie starts off with Nick Fury. And they have Mysterio show up in the beginning. And then they fight. And then it cuts to Peter being in school. I don't know. This film didn't do anything memorable. You know, it didn't, like, I guess the beginning, maybe that was an attempt to catch your eye. But it's basically about they're gonna go on this trip, and Peter doesn't want to be he wants to be a normal kid. He doesn't want to do the Spider-Man role right now. He's getting tired of being Spider-Man and the fame, and he's all upset about Tony Stark, and it's like, oh my god, people want me to be the next Iron Man. Okay, I just want to say this. I hate the whole Tony Stark and Spider-Man aspect. And it's never been in anything Spider-Man ever, and I don't understand it. I will always forever hate that Tony gave Spider-Man his suit, because he's supposed to make his own suit. That's always been it. You know, he makes it with his own. He knits it himself. He wears it. Okay, sewing machine. Makes his own suit, and he doesn't have all these abilities, the gadgets that the suits has in the Spider-Man Homecoming. You know, it's just I've seen the comics of Spider-Man, and it's just it's so bad. What do you think? What do you want to say? Come on, talk. What did you think of the movie?
I don't know.
He's useless.
Yep.
I don't know if I should link his channel in my description because he's not talking.
Warren's not going to subscribe.
Then, you know, he goes to, and he wants to be with Mary Jane, which I don't understand, because there was, like, at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, there was, like, no base, like, you don't see them hang out. You don't see anything between them. They barely know each other in Spider-Man Homecoming. And then all of a sudden, Spider-Man Far From Home, he's just in love with MJ already. It's just like, there's no build-up to their relationship or character. I will say that they made Spider-Man people like, it's terrible. But in that, they built up the relationship between Gwen Stacy and Peter, which is really great. But in this, there is no build-up. They just already... He likes her, and we get it, you know, it's like, well, maybe you're supposed to know, you know, Spider-Man and MJ, I mean, what more do you need to say? But I think it would have helped with the story, you know, it could have, I don't know, I just think maybe that could have made the movie a little bit better. If they did something like that, I don't know, there's just, that. So, as I say, he doesn't want to be Spider-Man anymore, so, he ignores Nick Fury, because... I don't know why. When there's like Spider-Man things where he's like the second Avengers leader or whatever, but so he avoids Nick Fury, you know, and then he goes on this school trip, which is what it's all about. He goes on a school trip to
France.
Huh?
France.
To France, and he's got this whole plan with MJ, but then there's elemental monsters, and Mysterio shows up, which is really great. And I like how, like, well, at first they make him seem like he's a good guy, he's a superhero, he's taking down the elementals, and it's like, okay. And I thought it was so weird at first, because it did catch me. I'm like, well, I would know that Mysterio's a villain. Are they gonna play him off like he's a hero now or something in this? And then it's like, you know, I should have saw it coming, but I did have when I was watching, I thought that whenever he did the villains, he made them himself, and then he fought them himself. But the reveal of it kind of made me disappointed. Mysterio is like this amazing Spider-Man character. that he has actual like illusion abilities. If I want to reference Mysterio, probably the best thing to see Mysterio in would be Spider-Man in Shattered Dimensions, which is an entire video game where the main ultimate villain of the game is Mysterio. He's the last boss you fight, and it's all about his powers and the illusions, and it's just, it's awesome as hell.
The tablet of order and chaos. Selling you on the black market is gonna make me a mint.
Good, you can use a mint. Oof, I can smell your breath from here.
Spider-Man?
Wait, how would you eat a mint through that fishbowl? Nice! Don't get me wrong, your illusions are nifty and all, but if you ask me, they could use a little more kick. Nah, souvenirs are available in the gift shop.
Stop it! Cease your incessant prattling!
But an incessant is the best kind of prattling.
What? What's this?
Hey, Bubblehead, think fast! Whoa, what the heck was that?
But this movie, I hate what they did to Mysterio. He gets such an awesome villain, and they fuck it up. They really get to that. So basically, you've all seen the movie for watching spoilers. So you find out that Peter Parker was given the glasses from Tony, right? The fucking thing, and he's jealous of the one guy with MJ. But then MJ finds out he's Spider-Man, and then like they like each other, and it just made me go, isn't the reason that people relate to Peter Parker so much is because he's like the guy that has a hard time getting the girl, when it seemed like it was really easy for him to get the girl in this movie? I don't know. A lot of things that make Spider-Man they don't do with him, and I know there's a thing that I just, my problem with the movie is it doesn't follow the comics, and I feel like the pulling of Funimation, if you know what I mean by that, like where they did Full Alchemist and then they made Full Alchemist Brotherhood, which is based off the manga. He's just so dumb what they're doing with him. I can't, Mysterio was using drones to project his fights, and I was so disappointed. And I was like, the illusion effects, those were amazing. The CGI, they did amazing on that. It looked great. But the fact that it wasn't his powers is sad. A lot of times in like Spider-Man stuff scene, like Mysterio makes himself big.
No, little spider, you will die!
Is it too late for us to be friends?
Welcome to your nightmare, Spider-Man!
Hey, Uncle!
I'm glad you find yourself amusing.
Actually, I can reference 2 games where he makes up. In the original PlayStation Spider-Man 1, you fight him as Giant Mysterio, which he pretended to be Spider-Man also. And then in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, you fight him as a giant, and he's like hovering in this like dimension world. And so, I think it's so classic to also, when it comes to Mysterio versus Spider-Man, he always punches him in his little glass bowl and breaks it.
Symbiote invasion. There are more of them?
You fool! There will be more than you can imagine. That fog which blankets the city is preparing everyone in New York for symbiosis!
You're the fool, Mysterio. Where? Where are they coming from?
Go then. On the waterfront. Warehouse 65. A secret passage. If only I could watch them destroy you.
Whoever your boss is, he's off his rocker! No one can control the symbiotes.
Correction! No one before now!
Spare me the propaganda, okay? This isn't a game, Mysterio. The symbiotes will destroy everything in their path unless I can stop them.
You wannabe bad guys out there, when destroying dimensions and defying do-gooders, watch out. Because you might unleash forces beyond your control, like the palpable power of four sensational Spider-Men.
Wait, the tablet! No, it could still be mine! It could still...
Some guys never learn. And, speaking of learning, you should learn how to count. Something tells me you're outnumbered. Gentlemen.
I really hate this fella.
Ah, come on, he's a blast to kick in the face.
Pal, you got... Shot!
Which they kind of did. Buddy's wearing his little control helmet thing. You know, Spider-Man webs up, punches him in the face and breaks it, but it's not the same as breaking his bowl because he actually has a suit that he wears and does actual power illusions. And that's not in here, which means that this is their own Mysterio that they did. And he needs a whole team, apparently, to create these illusions. So without a team, I guess there is no Mysterio, right? Which is so dumb. I can go on and on. I mean, there are some great parts of this movie, but they buried themselves with the way they went about it. They could have done it good. But they just didn't. I did like Nick Fury in it. Nick Fury's always great. No more to say, man. They kill off Mysterio because apparently they killed off Ultra and Mysterio, so I guess they kill off villains in this Spider-Man universe. And then it ends. I don't know if y'all saw the end credits, but you know, Mysterio reveals to the world that he's Peter Parker, and I hope to God, that's not canon, and it was just a joke at the end. Because if it is, I feel like they would do that because they're trying to make him like Tony Stark. We don't want Iron Man. We want Spider-Man. And I also hate when he makes his own suit. They had so many possibilities, but it's just red and black. Just red and black. You know how many Spider-Man suits they could have done that are from comics to maybe make fans' faces light up or be happy? No, we're just going to do a new suit that we came up with. I get that you want to do new things, but, you know, as far as I can tell, they are off the rails from doing anything related at all to the comics. Which in the MC universe, I would say that a lot of them follow with the comics and know what they're doing. Except for Spider-Man. Spider-Man is just something that I think is all over the place right now in that world. I don't know why it's so hard to do a good Spider-Man. So that's why I say Spider-Man 2 Spider-Verse right now is really kick-ass. It is an amazing fucking Spider-Man movie. It's probably the best Spider-Man movie we've ever had. And it's great. It sticks to the original material, and it follows the comics, and it makes you, as a Spider-Man fan at all, feel amazed while watching it. It's absolutely the best Spider-Man movie to date. So that's the one you should watch instead of Spider-Man Far From Home. Even if you've seen it, just rewatch it because it's so much better than whatever Far From Home is right now. Far From Home isn't bad. It's okay. But don't go into it if you're into the comics. Don't go into it with any recollection of what Spider-Man is supposed to be, I guess, if to enjoy the film. Because this ain't the... I just don't know how to explain it. It's okay. There are good parts to it, but they're hard to remember because this film is a little bit forgettable and not really rememberable. Honestly, the first one is way better. which I own the first one, which I'd rather watch that than Far From Home, because I think they did better on that, because they didn't go whack crazy on on everything. So yeah. I don't know. Anything you want to say, Thomas? What did you think of the movie?
It was okay.
But do you think they are doing bad at the character of Spider-Man? With that, I'm gonna end this. If you don't agree with my opinion, I understand. I'm just, I guess I'm more of a Spider-Man comic person. I want to see things that are like the comics, because I've actually now read real Spider-Man comics, so I expect that. So, yeah. But, you know, when it comes to video game Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, the PlayStation 4 game is, like, amazing. So I've seen some... So the Spider-Verse movie and the Spider-Verse game has made me happy with Spider-Man, but, like, this movie, I just feel like what they did with Mysterio was just makes me sad, because of what the potential they had with having that villain. But, yeah, with that, I'm going to end my review. Just editing the video. I didn't realize I didn't put what I give it. I wanted to say that I give it a 3 out of 5. And you already know why. Just gave my opinion on it. Okay, now back to the outro. Just want to let you all know. I give it 3 out of 5 because it's something you don't need to rush to the theaters to see, and they fall in a lot of places hard, and it's not like the comics. Anyway, back to the video. So, if you like this, subscribe. If you want more movie reviews, subscribe. Because I do all kinds of stuff like this all the time. And, yeah. Comment down below what movie you might want me to review in the future. Or what not. But yeah, that is for me. I'm out of here. And yeah, see you later.
Disclaimer, I do not own any music or pictures in this video, and sometimes video in this video. All rights go to the makers. I don't claim any of these rights as mine.